Hey guys, Shane here, Pocket Knife Review. Today we're going to talk about this QSP Pellican. This is something a little bit different for me because this is not an American-made knife. I do like to highlight American-made knives on my channel. I've said many times before, it's not that I just hate Chinese-made knives. Guys, there are knives made in other countries. Um, the reason why you always hear me talk about either American or Chinese-made knives is because the majority of the knives on the market, the majority of the knives that we know about, are either from the United States or China. There's some knives made in Japan. There's some knives made in Taiwan, Italy, Russia, Germany. Knives are made everywhere. But the majority of the popular knives out there are American made or Chinese made. The Chinese made knives seem to be a little more popular because the price point is a lot better. You can get. I'm going to be honest, guys. If you bought a knife like this and with micarta scales and S35 VM blade that was 100% American made, I'm just going to use a round number. You're probably looking around 200 bucks. This knife was 117 bucks. Um, I still pay 200 bucks for knives. Guys, I'm on a very limited budget. I have to spend my money as wisely as I can when it comes to purchasing knives. But I've learned that if I just, if I don't buy a knife a week, if I wait a little longer, if I'm not buying, you know, 10 of these every couple of months, this is a $40 make Chinese knife. Good work knife. Absolutely worth the money. But this is a little bit of a different monster, man. This is a very, very well made knife. This is a quality made knife. It's got great micarta. My only it's not a complaint. If I could have picked, I wish the micarta was just a little bit more textury. But this is fine. This is nice. It's got a good S35 VM blade. It's well ground, stand behind the edge. Only issue I found with this knife, there's a slight deviation in the grind right around the tip, and if you hold it just right in the right light, you can see a slight wave right here where the grind's not absolutely perfect. But hey, you can find that in any knife. High dollar knives, cheap knives, custom knives, you can find that anywhere. But the reason I bought this, like I said, is because I really like this Wharncliffe blade style. Um, most of us that are using a knife on a daily basis are using it for the same thing. Now, this is regarding military, first responders, things like that. But majority of us are using the tip, and we're using the tip to cut open packages, to be honest with you. A lot of times we're using our knife to cut open another new knife. Just to give you an example of why the Wharncliffe blade works so well, it's because if I have to open a package with this knife, to use that tip, I have to lift up to here. I'm about 5 inches off the table. Well, actually at the very end of the blade, probably 6 inches at the end of the handle, just to get that tip in a position where I can drag it, cut the tape, cut the cardboard, whatever I need to do. With a Wharncliffe, it's as simple as it's here. You see what I'm saying, guys? That's how high you have to lift the knife up to access the tip to be able to use it to drag across the surface and cut it. And I like that. It's a very useful blade style. It hasn't been all that popular up until the last couple of years. It's been around a long time, but its popularity has really grown in the last couple of years, and maybe that's purely because of the popularity of Amazon. I don't know, but this nice flat ground S35 VM blade, it cuts great. That was my fault. Sorry, I probably should have cleaned the blade or some tape residue on it causing it to stick. But I use my knife, so that kind of stuff happens. But anyway, like I said, you guys hear me talk about American-made knives all the time and how much I love them, and I still do. I still buy Chinese-made knives, and I just limit the amount of Chinese-made knives that I buy so that I can buy more of the American-made knives that I love. But this knife's about $117. Like I said, if and I will admit it's hard to find this much quality in a knife at that price in an American-made knife. Especially if you're looking for something that's popular in the knife world right now. Do I feel like it's any better made than this knife at 60 bucks? No, I don't. But the things people are looking for in knives nowadays, guys aren't looking for back locks that you have to fight with to close two-handed, and they're super stiff and all that stuff. So I understand the rise in popularity of action, and that's the biggest asset to this knife. I don't know what they did, how much time they have to spend to nail down an action like this, but man, they did it. They did a great job of it, and I love it. It's got a titanium pocket clip that I have found to be problematic on a lot of knives. This one is not. It slides in and out of pocket well. It has good retention. I really don't have any complaints about this thing, guys. Like I said, other than that slight grind deviation right at the tip, and that will come out with a couple of sharpenings. So, is it the perfect knife? No. It's a great knife for fidgeting, though. It cuts great. It's definitely worth the price that they charge for it. And is it a bargain? Well, compared to a knife of this quality made other places, I would say absolutely it is a bargain. So, if it's something you're interested in, something you're looking at, I say go for it. I like QSP for one other reason. They do, these knives are made in China, but they are also supporting a lot of American knife designers. And how they're doing that is these guys with these small boutique companies that have designed a knife, and they can't, couple of reasons why they can't get it made in the United States. I've heard a lot of people say, oh, it's just too expensive. Well, let me tell you why it's too expensive. It's not just American labor. It's just that high, or the products are that high. There's another part of that equation, guys. The last couple of generations that in this country have been raised weren't raised like the ones before them. We're getting weaker. We're getting lazier year by year. There's just not that much skilled labor out there. So if you called Spyderco and you asked Eric Glesser to make this knife for you, the issue he's got is that, first of all, they work full time to make their own knives. Their knives sell well. They really don't need to make anybody else's knife to make money. So that means they would have to shut down their production line, retool, reset up everything to make knives for somebody else, and that is expensive. Bottom line is you can't hardly get it done. So these guys are having to reach out to companies like QSP and Riot to have their designs made, and so that they can sell their designs, sell their knives. And I'm glad of it, because without that, guys, there's a lot of knives out there we would have never gotten to experience, simply because there's nobody to make it in the United States. And because if they did have it made in the United States, the price would be elevated and a lot of people wouldn't pay it. So because of that, you wouldn't get to experience a knife like this. Guys, there's a review coming on this. I did not like this knife when I saw it online. It just was not my style. But once you get it in hand and you experience it, and you immediately understand the quality of what they did here, you start to really appreciate it. So, I'm going to be going over that more and more in the future about kind of the lesser of the evils. There's knives out there that are 100% American made with American products. 100% supports the American economy and the American worker, and I like that. And then there are knives that are 100% made in China. All the profit goes to China. But there is a middle ground too. There are these OEM companies that are helping American companies and American designers get their knives into our hands, and I appreciate that. So, anyway, I don't want to keep on about it too long. You guys know how much I appreciate y'all's time. I know how valuable your time is and how little of it we have nowadays. And I appreciate any of it that you spend with me. And that's all I got for you guys. Peace out. Love y'all.